the first Christian whistleblower. I'm Jeffrey Daugherty, today's Christian whistleblower, and I'm going to talk to you tonight about the first Christian whistleblower. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to our, what is this? I don't even know what to call this, but it's really good stuff. I hope you were able to catch the video with Heidi, and that's over on the channel now. I hit the wrong button. I was going live to Facebook rather than YouTube, but I found a piece of software I think I'm going to use. We can go live to 30 places at one time. That would make things really interesting. And I have one of my lights that is out. Let me turn it on. I knew something didn't look quite right. And I know that damn it. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's always something. It is always something. So we're going to get this together. And I just got to, anyway, here we go. We're talking about the first Christian whistleblower. And this guy was a remarkable guy. He was a smart guy. Lewis Boyce, say hello to you. DePretzer62, hello. Mike Harrow. Heidi was awesome. I'm telling you, folks, she blew me away. She evidently did my chart before the show, and she didn't go into it much because I don't want to make that all about me, but bam. That's some really good stuff. Very, very accurate stuff. And I'm glad you're catching me live too. Jason, Gnostic Spirit, hello. Chris Monet. He's bringing it over tomorrow, and it'll be, I think, final setup. I said, yeah, I was calling her another name. There's a reason for that, but I'm not going to do it. Her name is Heidi Vandenberg. Very happy to have had her on. It was really, really good stuff. And go ahead and watch the video. It's called Heidi Vandenberg joins Jeff with Ancient Wisdom, Vedic Astrology, I believe. Good stuff. So take advantage of that. And we'll have a more question and answer here as we go along. But I did want to talk to you about the first Christian whistleblower. And I think this is very interesting. I think it's almost astounding. But anyway, here we go. Let's have a look at the first Christian whistleblower. And let's talk about this fellow. And again, one of my great subscribers was the one that sent me this. And she actually sent me this PDF of this information. So I'm very happy, very, very happy to be able to share it with you. And I think we're going to glean a lot from this because we're going to find out that it wasn't, it's not just us. We're not just the first ones. We're not the first people that ever said, wait a minute, something's foul in the state of Denmark. And I think this whole time I've been showing that Christian whistleblower picture. Good grief, ladies and gentlemen. What is this guy doing? What is this guy doing? But you know what? That's okay. We're going to be all right. We're going to get there. It might take some baby steps, but we are going to get there. Oh, goodness. Goodness. So we're talking about the first Christian whistleblower. And this was a very interesting fellow. And he had some very interesting things to say. And I just want you to know that this guy was super smart. This guy was super intelligent. And I'm telling you, this guy was really something else. And if you look at this, you can tell how old this is. I mean, not even anything on the book cover. This comes out of the Library of Congress. And he calls it astro-theological. Well, there's another name, The Devil's Pulpit, or Astro-Theological Sermons by the Reverend Robert Taylor, Bachelor of Arts, author of Did Jesus and Syntagma, Sketch of His Life, Astronomical Introduction, published by Calvin Blanchard in 1857. So we're getting deep here, folks. We're going back a little bit. We're getting some deepage going on here. We're really doing some good work. And we're going to go past the table of contents. But let's look at this. The introduction is a key to the astronomical allusions and the various mysteries in the Bible, referred to as in the Devil's Pulpit by the Reverend Robert A. Taylor. This is a commentary on that book and to similar versions. The earliest worship was that of the earliest worship of deity as exhibited in nature, and the study of religion was the study of nature. Think about that. The very first worship we ever had, the very first worship we ever did was the worship of nature. And look where we are now. So completely removed from nature, so completely removed from our roots. What are we thinking? The very first worship that mankind ever engaged in was the worship of nature. And, worship of nature has you think about people bowing down to toadstools or bowing down to palm trees. No, we're talking about reverence. We're talking about recognizing the hand of deity in the work of this planet and the atmosphere in which we live. And to recognize that that's deity. And we call those people primitive. And here we are destroying it, poisoning it. It doesn't make any sense what we're doing to ourselves. And very clearly, our first worship was that of nature. The first worship of deity was exhibited in nature. And the study of religion was the study of nature. Think about that. Religion was the study of nature. And now religion is almost a study against nature. Have dominion over, rule. It's not what we were taught by the original deity. Deity was first worshipped in nature. The study of religion was first the study of nature. And the priests were natural philosophers. Natural philosophers. And hence astrologers at first. And they were honest. I mean, when you're focusing on nature, there's not much malfeasance that you can perpetrate. It's nature. I see what it is. I see what it does. I observe it. It's nature. And that breeds an honest, observable reality. And the author of the book poses that the first religious philosophers were astronomers. They looked at the stars. We just had Heidi on. They looked at the stars. And some of those first philosophers looking at the stars were indeed people from the Vedic tradition. It's the oldest tradition, or at least one of the oldest traditions, maybe the oldest on planet Earth. So here we have the Vedic tradition that we just talked about. You could arguably say it was the first religion. Very, very interesting. And I wish I'd have known that before I had Heidi on. But having obtained power or influence by knowledge that the people gave them credit not only for what they knew, but for what they presumed they knew. Because they could foretell eclipses by calculations based on laborious observations and apparent astronomy, they presumed the priests could also foretell other events, and hence urged on the astronomical priests the character also of astrologers. And that's obviously used in a negative connotation. But you see what's going on there is you get some people that are, I guess like me, according to the chart that Heidi did, are predisposed towards being people of the stars, people observing the stars, people that are teaching people and leading people towards their spiritual destinies. And you get some people that are naturally doing that, and they're talking about observable natural phenomena, and people say, oh yeah, well, he's right about that. And then all of a sudden, because they're studying astronomy and the movement of the stars, they can predict with very good accuracy the moon's going to die, The moon's going to come back to life. There's going to be an eclipse. They could predict these elements. And there were many of them of lesser mind that used that and held back that knowledge to make it like magic so that they were all powerful. And that led to corruption within the priesthood, if you want to call it the priesthood. And here we are with what we have today. So when you presume that pastor, priest, pope can do things that regular men can't do, you're wrong. The priests found that such professions were very profitable. It was a profitable source of revenue, and they drove these studies to extremes and made mystery where none existed, as this enhanced the priestly character in the conception of the people. Can I say to you, September 23rd, 2017, Revelation 12 sign? These people are trying to turn it into a profitable source of revenue. These people are trying to drive you to extremes. These people are making mystery where none exists. These people are trying to enhance their own standing in your mind and in your eyes by giving you mysteries and hidden knowledge. Here at the Christian Whistleblower, I do just the opposite. We're uncovering knowledge. I'm telling you, you can know everything that these people with the secret decoder rings, these guys wearing dresses, unless you're into that sort of thing, all the letters behind their name, they want it to be a super spiritual, exclusive lady club. It's not. It's not, ladies and gentlemen. It is absolutely not. But lesser noble-minded individuals within the practitioner of religion are doing this to you. They want to tell you they know the secrets. I want to tell you there are no secrets. They want to tell you about hidden signs. I want to tell you, like the Christ did, there are no signs. They want to tell you about the secrets of the universe. I want to tell you that there are no secrets. We're exposing the secrets. We're showing you the secrets. Because once you learn the reality, then you don't need gurus anymore. You don't need pastors. You don't need popes. You don't need preachers. You don't need priests. I think the Christ said, how lovely on the mountains are the feet of them that bring good news. And how can people hear unless they have a preacher? A proclaimer. That's what I do. That's all I do. 19 hours a day proclaiming. Boom, 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 boom. Why? Because I think you deserve to know. I think you deserve to have all the knowledge at your disposal before you make decisions that are going to affect your eternal destiny. And to preserve this influence and power, they didn't want many people getting in on this. So they made it difficult. Druids, priests of Apollo, missionaries from India, Order of Buddha, no books, but only taught the aspirants by memory only, gradually initiated them into the mysteries. So they turned it into like a mystery school. Now, I don't know that all of their thoughts were malevolent in that regard. Maybe they were trying to protect in some regard, but it had the effect of withholding information and limiting it to a certain cabal. And I think that's wrong. I think that we should take the opposite approach and we should disseminate as much information as widely possible to as many people as possible. Heidi's sending me my chart right now. I want to pay her for it. She won't accept it. That's just the kind of person she is. And it's important to know the kind of people that you're talking to. It's important to know the kind of people that you're watching. It's important to know the kind of people that you're dealing with. And that's why I say this. Oh, well, Heidi wants, she's going to send me, she did the work on that chart. And it's obviously very, very powerful to me. And she says, oh, I'm going to send you my chart. I said, no, let me pay you. She says, no, I won't take any money. That's integrity, folks. That's integrity. And I like to work with people that have integrity, and I like to promote people that have integrity. And Heidi is a lady with integrity. And I encourage you to contact her if you want to get a reading. And even if you don't, you probably should. Jen, get one from her. She's good. It was live if you're on my Facebook, but it wasn't live because some dummy hit the wrong button. Hello, Jen. It's only 17 minutes in, though. There's something going on with my niece's arm, having pain from the rainy weather. Yeah. Robert Taylor knew well what the Jesuits were up to. We're about to find that out, Gnostic Spirit. Holy Heretic, Jeff Doherty, I'm just becoming aware of your teachings. I was watching the one on the rapture, and you had me in stitches. Scott don't like Greek. The best place to start is the end. I agree with you. Our bodies are of the earth. We must give thanks to Mother Nature. That just makes sense. Nice name, Holy Heretic. I love it. I wish I'd thought of it. Jeffrey Doherty, the Holy Heretic. What's better, Christian Whistleblower or Holy Heretic? They're both really good. I'm glad you caught one live, 55 Porter. She's our mother, Sophia, I believe. The Druids and the Vedic were first. I agree. Bad priests, they're the rat bastards too. The guilt I carried over from everything, from the early brainwashing. And it was interesting to hear Heidi talk about the guilt and how just seeing and understanding was able to free her from a lot of guilt and a lot of fear and a lot of pain. Holy Heretic, you sound like the Christian Whistleblower. It was the Christ that said, a wicked and an adulterous generation, or a wicked and perverse generation, seeks after signs. And those signs were created by the Jesuits. Holy Heretic, have you read my book? Because that's exactly what I've been trying to get out to people so they don't get carried away by this stuff. They have managed us. They persuaded us that they had the knowledge of God while divorcing us from true divinity. Absolutely. Have you thought of having Zoom groups? Lynn, I don't really know about Zoom groups. It would be able to interact with everyone. I got you. Yeah, I have thought about that. We're going to do that. We're going to do that. All right, so let's get back and talk more about this. It does get too crazy with the amount of people that we have popping in, but that's okay. So let's get back and talk about this a little bit more. Yeah, it's interesting to learn how to work this, but both Rex and Heidi assure me that once you do know how to work it, you won't want to do anything else other than Zoom, and I believe them. So as we move on to the next page, and that's what it comes down to right there, folks. Inferior character. Inferior character. And unfortunately, in religion, there's a lot of inferior character. And here's one thing you have to understand. And this is, I mean, I'm talking about myself to some extent, so you have to take it with the proverbial grain of salt. There are certain occupations that psychopaths are drawn to. There are certain occupations that psychopaths are drawn to. And I'll see if I can pull that up for you real quickly. Occupations psychopaths are drawn to. Occupations psychopaths are drawn to. The 10 jobs that attract psychopaths, and this is written by Forbes, or this is in the Forbes magazine. Let's look at this. I think you'll find this interesting. The 10 jobs that psychopaths are drawn to. CEOs, lawyers, media, television, radio, salesperson, surgeon, journalist, police officer, clergy, chef, that's interesting, civil servant. Wow. So clergy is in the top 10. And you could argue that clergymen and women are really essentially media personalities. And you might even argue that they're CEOs. So 30% of people that are psychopaths are drawn to religious type vocations, people of inferior character. And you look at some of these people, like those that are in the Jesuit Hall of Fame. Was it Robert Breaker? I can't remember Scott's last name. And I know some people didn't like me putting Dabu 7 in there, but he's preaching Jesuit doctrine, at least on that particular subject. And of course, I won't say Nine Nanya's name because that'll just make a lot of people upset, but she is preaching Jesuit doctrine through and through. And sometimes inferior character is not even realized by the person or by the people watching, but it is inferior character to have a proclivity towards the sensational, to have a proclivity towards leveraging people's lower base traits to get them all fired up about something that is provably untrue through the scriptures, through the history of the church, and through even the words of the Christ, and demonstrably provable that it was created by the Catholic Church through the Jesuit soldiers and Francisco Ribera, Saint Teresa Loyola of Ignatius. People whose power is turned into their own aggrandizement. This whole laity clergy thing. Who decided we're the laity? And you know what? Even the words, the clergy and the laity, just lay there, do what we tell you to. And if we bring in the sexual connotations, and we're being slapped in the face with the sexual connotations of Roman Catholicism, Roman Protestant, just lay there. I don't think I need to go any further. Wow. What are your thoughts on that so far? What are your questions about this so far? Nature is the expression of peace and true beauty. So we can have compassion. Most of my digital books are PDF. They murdered everyone. Convert or die. Absolutely, Cheyenne. I would do that, then circle back, laugh out loud, and repeat. What are the Greek and Hebrew names for nature? That's a good one. I'm not sure what it is, but you can go on. You can look up, try to find the word nature in the Bible, look it up on Bible Hub and find out what it is. Good night, Jen Fuller. I'm married to a police officer. That doesn't mean all police officers are psychopaths. Positions of power and control. I bought into the gloom and doom. I pass it on to others. Now I tell peeps, don't fret, don't worry, be happy. What does that make you? Makes you a person married to a police officer. Those were people that wanted to work the least hours, Jen. It wasn't about being the least psychopathic. Please do not. You see this right here? That is a perfect example of spam. Don't do it. They do attract the best and the worst of intentions. C'est la vie. Such is life. Yep, James said don't rush into being a teacher. Good night, Chris Monet. Yep, he was warning. I got you, Cheyenne. Sure, you can forward me the Bill Donahue stuff. It'd be interesting to look at. Oh, you were saying that to Mike. Oh, good. I'm glad you're sticking around. So if you have questions, throw them in there. I'll try to pop back here every now and again, and we'll try to keep it a little more interactive. And as I learn how to use this more, we'll figure it out more. And look at this. And they used sovereignty. People turned over their power to the priests. And the priests used that sovereignty and filled every station of profit and honor, lulling up superstition. They even got the poets and the writers to engage in the superstition. Do I even need to make commentary about our media today? While others directed the education of the wealthy and served the offices of priests, lawyers, physicians, teachers, and statesmen, which all banded in the secret order. Okay, I'm coming after you, truthers. I'm coming after the Dabu Sevens and the Richies from Boston and the Alex Joneses and all these people that have no problem whatsoever seeing all the evil of secret orders. Oh, the Freemasons. Oh, the Illuminati. They don't have any problem seeing the problems of the statesmen, the politicians. They're bad. They need to be investigated. They need to be shut down. They got no problem looking at the education system. It's rotten. It's broken. It needs to be fixed. No problem dealing with big pharma. Oh, big pharma, bad news. And I'm not saying I agree with any of this. No problem with the lawyers. Oh, yeah, the lawyers, they're terrible. And yet, and they talk about, oh, the wealthy, there's too much money in the hands of too little, education system. But what they don't want to say, and I don't know why they don't want to say it, is because they don't know it. I can't believe that. Or because they can't go after the church, even though the church is in bed with the lawyers. The church is in bed with big pharma. The church is in bed with the educational system. The church is in bed with the politicians, and the church is in bed with, and in many times helped create the secret societies that you so loathe. Then why can't you connect your own circle? If you're so brilliant, if you're so gifted, if you have such tremendous foresight, then why can't you see that the religion is just as complicit and just as crooked as all the rest of it? Why does your X-ray vision and your tremendous insight end at the church door? Could it be because America is predominantly a religion or a nation that identifies itself as Christian? And could it be that, if you start coming out against the evils of Roman Catholicism, Roman Protestantism, that your purse strings will dry up like that? Could that be it? Oh, we don't want to talk about religion because those people give a lot of money, but that's none of my business. Let me tell you something. You can gain the biggest following on Facebook, biggest following on YouTube, but what you gonna do when you lose your own soul? Grow some cajoles. Reach down there and feel around and see if you can find a pair. And why don't some of you who are teaching this September 23rd, 2017, Revelation 12 sign, reach down there and feel around and see if you can come up with a pair and debate me on live YouTube feed. I can find what's the word I'm looking for? Objective moderator. Do you have a pair? Or do you just want to hide over there and make money and not let someone expose the falsities of your doctrine? You won't expose yourself to gentlemanly, open debate. You remember Captain Kirk? Admiral Kirk at the time? Khan was just going to fly away because he had his ship and everything was fine. Star Trek II, Wrath of Khan. You think you're just going to fly into September 23 and make all your money and get everybody all upset? And like Kirk said, I say to you, I'm laughing at your superior intellect. I'm laughing at your superior intellect. I'm laughing at your superior intellect. Come and get it. Debate me if you got the guts. Okay, I feel better now. I feel better now. Let's go back into the chat room for just a momento. Make sure that I have stopped the sharing so you don't want to have to look at me twice. We have stopped the sharing. Good. Let's go back into the chat room. Especially when you get into the deep occult symbolism of lesser magic, but it only works if we give consent. Yep. I came late. What book is this? This is The Devil's Pulpit. Ever wonder why Jewish children don't go missing? Oh, don't know if that's totally true, but I see where you're coming with that. I check out truth channels from time to time. Dang if they don't do a lot of fear raising. It's all about the clicks. I don't understand. The Bibles are all Catholic. They seem to think it's the only book not corrupted. Let's see. The people that are saying that that the Bible's not corrupted, most of them are Catholics, and if they're not, they're Protestants who are just Catholics who aren't afraid of holy water. They do seem to have extreme Christian views, and they hate those that don't agree. That's the key right there. The degree to which a person will demonize, villainize, and launch hatred towards their opponents is the degree to which they have little faith in their own beliefs. Extreme Christian views, hate those that don't agree, part of the machine. The church runs everything. Yep. Fear porn, no solutions. Because they know the numbers game. Have you seen the subs on those channels? It is crazy. Chris, it bothers me. I got to tell you, it really bothers me to see, all the work we're doing and all the great people that we have, and to look at those channels and see, 100,000, 90,000, 80,000. And we're here working our butts off to get to over 6,300. I mean, I was talking to Tamu and Gina, and she says, you know what? You've had over almost 200 subscribers this week. And shame on me. I'm thinking, wow, I want 10,000, but you're great people. You're amazing people. And we're doing a great work here. From here to eternity, I don't have those. Oh, yep. It's the numbers game. It's called money. Money, money. Yeah, yeah. Hey, Joe, I'm glad you found me too. Seems like Christ said something about what profits a man's soul. Yep. So gross. All I can say, the wolf is dwelling with the lamb. I'd love to see Jeff debate Alex Jones. Alex Jones doesn't want no part of this. Alex Jones doesn't want any part of this. I would love to engage Alex Jones in a gentlemanly debate. I would love to engage Alex Jones in a gentlemanly debate. I've asked him to come on his channel. He said no, he can't handle me. I even asked David Duke to come on his channel. He can't handle me either. David Duke wants to blame everybody but the men behind the curtain of the Roman Catholic and Roman Protestant churches. Alex Jones wants to blame everybody but Alex Jones knows. Alex Jones knows, and he just won't say. Because he's on the Genesis radio network. But that's none of my business. That's none of my business. Bad move, my friend, said Bruce Lee Younger Bar. I'm not sure what you're talking about. The Christian cyberbullies are ruthless. Peter Popoff. I remember Peter Popoff. This is a good point by Alan Hicks. Even though the subscribers to this channel don't agree with everybody, including me, we respect their views and conversations and indifferences. We just had to talk about whether or not Donald Trump was a Freemason, and we exchanged some blows, but it was gentlemanly fashion. Oh, I'd take Alex Jones down to Chinatown. He better load up on male vitality before he even thinks about that. But if you get Alex Jones in a objective place that's moderated by somebody that's not paid by him, then you could get him much more under control. They can't handle the truth. Jen says there's a huge difference in spiritual people and religious. Spirituality and religion are mutually exclusive. You can't be both. I think Alex Jones has become irrelevant. Maybe he meant your dance moves. Was I doing dance moves? It's not real for Alex Jones. He's not real. Let's do a little bit more of this, then we'll move on. The Devil's Pulpit is what we're talking about. And we're still in the introduction from this book that was written in the 1850s. The blessings of nature were personified, and its qualities, the same of those of deity, were taught by every symbol which nature affords or priest could imagine. The heavens and stars were divided into hosts with imaginable qualities in proportion to the facts as were readily known. So we start talking about the formation of Western astrology, and Heidi was talking a little about this, conjunctions and this and that, and it gets very, very difficult and very, very cumbersome, and it gets very, very general, whereas the Vedic astrology she practices is highly specific, and I found that to be very, very interesting. And listen to this. Planets were called a marriage. The sun assumed every garb according to the season and constellations in which it was in. It was a raging lion in midsummer when the sun was in Leo, an ox in the spring when the sun was in Taurus, and later times a lamb of God when the sun took the cross and passed the equator into Aries, the ram. A scorpion in autumn, a sign descending below the equator and becoming the harbinger of winter and desolation. The sun became a man in the sign of Aquarius, or watery season, and that character was so worshipped that these four signs formed the celebrated cherubim. Oh, that's some deep stuff. I don't know if you're getting that, but that's so deep. Wow. Wow. Christianity is connected to this ancient worship. They don't want you to know it, but it's true. And it brings some doubt on the flesh and blood reality of Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, and Jesus for sure, but even the Christ. And that bothers me. And it bothers me because I've said it before, and you heard me talk about it with Wayne Steiger today. It bothers me that I can't prove the fact, I still believe that the Christ walked on this planet, but I can't prove it. And there's really no proof for it, and there should have been. I mean, Philo wrote a history of Judea in the time that the Christ was there, and Philo was there. And he didn't say one word about him. I teach and believe from what I see in the scripture, I'm still convinced of the belief that was a false flag crucifixion of Thomas Didymus. But why wasn't that mentioned by Philo or anybody else except for Josephus, the Roman butt boy Jewish scribe? Did I say that? Well, it's 1234, 1, 2, 3, 4. Why didn't anybody mention the purported resurrection if it really happened? Why wasn't it mentioned? I think it's fairly irregular if a dude that's dead gets up out of the grave. I think it's worthy of mention. Even in our 24/7, 365, 947 news organizations, if a dude crawls out of his grave at the graveyard, it's going to be on CNN. Why didn't anybody mention it? It's a source of irritation to me, but we know the message is real, even if we can't be certain of where it came from. We know the message is real. Wow, folks. Powerful stuff, interesting stuff. And we can't know it all. And maybe that's the beauty of it, that we can't know it all. Religion is a cult, says Jen Fisher. 55 Porter says that the Christ teachings in the Gospels were all about separating spirituality and religion. He's perfectly correct. Shaina says AJ is too pumped on testo. I don't know if he is or not. Male vitality, that's something he sells. Yep, Jen got it. Steroids, he's selling the crap. Just wonder what we're talking about. Interesting stuff. Isn't there a rock in Ireland called the Devil's Pulpit? Huh. Have not heard. How can I talk to you privately? You can send me an email, christianwhistleblower@gmail.com. Oh, yeah. Louis Boyce and I had a talk last night. Is Donald Trump a Mason? He says yes. I say no. He still thinks yes. I still think no. But we're still having gentlemanly conversation. Donald Trump was an owner of a USFL team back in the 80s. He owned the New Jersey Generals. We're not supposed to know. They don't want us to know. Yeah, you think the resurrection would be on a rock somewhere. You think somebody would have wrote that down. And like Wayne Steyer said today, the Jews were the most educated people on the planet. They were good writers. They were good drawers. They were good painters. Nobody thought to do a little diddly diddle do doodle. Come on. I know a YouTube channel that had the truth and went back to preaching Jeebus when his subs dropped. You want to give a name, Chris? Yeah, I was into the USFL. Wow. Very, very interesting. Very, very powerful. Very, very enlightening. I think that's probably a good little start. She won't give a name. Oh, okay. Okay. All right, folks. Any last questions before we go? Oh, I'm going to do something that's funny. This is for you, Louis. This is just for Louis. Just for Louis. And Shaina. Is President Trump a Freemason? No. Is President Trump a Freemason? No. Is President Trump a Jesuit? I don't even think he's Catholic. Is President Trump a Jesuit? They are just divining rods. But it's fun. And I'm going to, on tomorrow or by this weekend, I'm gonna have some divining rods made. I'm going to make them myself, and I will bless them with my own essence and send them to ya. I am going to make some divining rods this weekend. He is a Protestant. Yeah, and I'm going to make them this weekend. We'll make like 10 sets, and we'll be able to send them out to you on Monday. Okay, what is, because yes is, no is boom. So it's just keeping going. They'd go around in circles like this way for no, and they go around circles this way for yes. So They just come back and hit me because I'm right there. But Jesus, I just showed my dad how you could do this and how his dollars could support your work and do good for the church and lies. What do you mean, Jen? How I showed my dad how you do this and how, oh, thank you. I appreciate that. So we're going to get divining rods. They're going to be a little bit better than these. I bought these from somewhere that is, I mean, they're not bad, but I'm going to make them a little bit nicer than this. And we're going to offer them at a really good price. So I'll have those ready for Monday. If you want to get some of them, you can get them. And we're going to do it. Divining rods. Jeff's, maybe we'll make him brother Jeff's divining rods. Oh, yeah, Carmen, you're in Australia. That'll be rough. That'll be rough. I don't know, Jason. Ask Heidi that. She'll know. Channel 27. All right. I'll probably be back on here tonight. I don't know if I'll go live or not. But with Zoom, it's easier to do it live than it is to mash up a video, but you don't get the slick intro. You don't get the nice little transitions, which all right, Shaina. Ouch. You don't know Shaina? Oh, okay. Did Shaina's procedure go badly? No. Did Shaina's procedure go well? Yes. Is it right? Did it go well? You can send a money order for serpents and doves. Can you do talk shoe? I don't know what talk shoe is. Don't know what talk shoe is. All righty then. If you have comments, if you have questions, let me know. Oh, a talk show. I did ask if it was successful. I said, did it go well? And it said yes. I said, did it go poorly? And it said no. Tell me, Shaina, is that accurate before we leave? Por favor. I did miss your question, Kay. What was it? He's afraid to leave the feel of the church, I guess. The social side. Oh, yeah. I can see that. It's not easy to do. It's not easy to do. Are you going to tell us the answer, Shaina, or not? I'm glad. If I can make you smile, then my work here is worth it. All righty. It's been a great day of broadcasting. I want to thank Wayne Steiger for being with me today. I make settlement on my first home next Friday. Good for you. Thomas Sheridan has a great series on YouTube about psychopaths. Thank you, Jen. Well, for me, if they cross in front of me, that's a yes. A lot of people, you have to find out what's yes and what's no for you. It's a lot like a pendulum. I think most people do it the other way. Yes is out and no is in, but I don't do it that way. That's not the way it works for me. So if this way is yes and it hits you in the shoulders, then it's hell yes, I guess. That's all I can say. All right, folks, that's going to do it. And thanks to Heidi Vandenberg, Channel 27. Wayne Steiger is our Wayne Steiger. All good. You were walking and sitting after 5 months. So that's a yes. So I need to get used to them. Yeah, just figure out which one's yes, which one's no for you. I mean, it shouldn't take more than 5 minutes. Ask a stupid question like, is my shirt blue? See which way they go. Is this glass blue or is this glass pink? Just ask questions that are readily apparent. And, you know, it's easy. You can also say, point to my son, point to my dad, point to blah, 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 and they should point right to it. So that's how you get them tuned up. Thank you, Chris. I still wish you'd name names. I got nose. Were you wanting nose? Oh, no is for you. No is cross. I think that's standard. I'm a little bit less than standard, I guess. That probably doesn't surprise anyone. All right, folks. Glad to have you here today. Who do you say is controlling the rods? I say that the foundational vibrational truth of the universe. My own show on TBN. Oh, wouldn't that be fun? That would be fun. I don't think it's my blink. Well, yeah, my blink should be, and oh, that's very interesting, Karen. My blink should be consistent with the divine blink because I've got my analytical mind cleared and I've got my comforter activation. Yes, say show me a yes. Jen Fuller, make it easy. Thank you. And I've got my access to the divine database, so it should be one and the same. I asked my pendulum, what is my name? Is my name yes? And what is my no? There you go. Just like Jen was saying. Good job, Carmen. Thanks for helping me out. All right, folks, I appreciate your attention. I appreciate your muscle testing works as well. Cool. All righty. Just keep unwinding your mind. Keep unindoctrinating yourself. Keep guiding your own spirit. Keep mastering your own ascension. Keep doing your own do. And if you're here, you are a seeker of truth. And as the Christian whistleblower, I salute you.